Notting Hill Hotel. Perhaps should be named the Monash Notting Hill. The 50th anniversary of Monash's first intake of students. On my right is the convener who's been appointed chairman of the MonEY group, the Monash Uni, Mike Headberry. Now, how many people we've got coming here?
We've got officially 130. The room only holds 90, so there'll be an overflow. Plus already we have people coming that aren't on the list,
well, that's
so we could end up 150 or so.
Typical people, they're very rude. And look, I've seen some people I haven't seen for 46 years, and I must admit I feel better after seeing them.
Yeah, anyway. It's been amazing. 50 years passes so quickly.
So during the day there'll be some formal speeches and more interviews, so stay tuned for a very interesting day.
Most of us. All fired up to tell truths, lies and memorable feats for people that we may not have seen for 45 years or whatever. First of all, I'd like to congratulate you all on finding your way from the Nott home from the Nott all those years ago. I don't know how we did it, but thank God they didn't have breathalyzers and things like that on the road from then. But it was an occasion. I'd like to introduce some of our people we have here. First of all, we're very honoured to have the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Adam Shoemaker, who's down here. Adam will be talking to us. And I'm sure we'll be absolutely delighted to welcome the Emeritus Professor of History and later Dean of Arts, John Legg. Put your hands to John. We also have coming, I'm not sure if they're here yet, Graham Davison and Kate Murphy, who are currently writing the history of our alma mater. And I know you'll be wanting to tell them a few stories about what Monash University was like in those days. I'm not sure if they will print it though. So they will be here. And we have Louise McCarthy. Louise, stand up. Louise is from Alumni Relations. She's done a fantastic job in sending out individual emails to 250 people.
The people at the back and those who didn't respond, and thank you for turning up anyhow and creating chaos. It's a great day. The other reason I'm wearing that, I also, for those who don't know, I used to work at Elders and I share an office with John Elliott, who has his own website, which basically I run, but he's the Rupert Murdoch, who vets all the things we do. And I guess I got involved when poor Kath died. And we wrote a nice obituary about her, and we're here today. I was asked to speak something about the importance of the Nott. Speak into the mic. Thank you. Now, speak too hard. When I first joined Monash, I was a 17-year-old, so I had a problem coming into this place. Being underage, I had to get other guys to help me serve the drinks, but I learned the ethics of shouts, and those who didn't shout got the terminology of being reneggers and weren't well liked. A lot of other firsts. The first time I've seen a drunk woman. The first time I've seen what Barry McKenzie would say, someone would form a technicolour yawn over the luncheon table. Lots of firsts, but I think the Nott is very important for all of us because it was the only university or hotel close by. I can go on, but I think today is not for reminiscing, but I think it's fantastic. Thank you. Today is not really for reminiscing, but I do have, I think, some words to say for the Notting Hill people because they've been loyal Carlton fans, both football club and Carlton United. So they're very good. You know, John, what we've got here is something very important, or close to John Elliott. There's a photo of him, Dick Pratt and Wesloff singing the Mighty Blues. I don't know how many Blue fans are here today, but this is something we like to put up in recognition of the Kath family has supported various players, and there's also as a favourite drinking hole for the people coming home from Waverley Park.
It was indeed.
And we have another thing you can put up in your bar.
Big John.
They look fantastic day, and would you like to say any words on behalf of the staff and management?
Well, only that thank you all for coming, and of course Kath would have loved to have been here. She didn't make it past November last year, and we all thought she was indestructible, and I think she did too, but she didn't quite. She was mortal, and thank you all for coming. She would have loved to have been here. She's missing it. Bye.
Thank you very much.
With the organisers of this event for choosing this as our 50th anniversary. The university made a big mistake. The university made a big mistake a few years ago in having 58, the date of the Act, as our beginning. But of course it wasn't. The Act provided for a university to open.
Two sorts of individuals. There are those who are in your face and there are those who are quieter, but who are nevertheless individuals, and you heard a number of those names spoken before by Michael. This is what has made up Monash University. This is why I'm very glad that I was able to be associated with Monash University in those days before bureaucracy ran riot. Now, one thing I did get out of the Vice-Chancellor was that his approach towards democracy was, toward bureaucracy was a little bit of sinning, a little bit of conniving, a little bit of looking the other way goes a long way. And that's certainly what I tried to do in the University Union. Anyway, delighted to be here today. I'm delighted that your feelings about Monash are also mine. It was a great university. It had a spirit. Let's take that spirit on for the rest of our lives.
Monash thing. It's fantastic to see, to feel, and to be here with you. Can I say just a brief sort of thing? I've been at Monash, as you heard, 3 years. Everywhere I go, and that is in Melbourne, in Australia, overseas, you meet Monash graduates. And they always, always tell you. They never hide it, and as soon as they hear where you're from, they come right forward and say, best years of my life. Those phrases are always repeated. Best years of my life. And in fact, it doesn't matter whether it's your initial years, the foundation classes of the whole university, or more recently, that phrase comes. In fact, I was talking to the new incoming undergraduates yesterday. And in fact, they did their O show, which is an actual presentation they do 16 times. And they've counted the number of steps between the residence and the Nott Hotel. And they said it's 27,200 steps if you're sober. On the way home, it's slightly more. But they do say it's a fantastic journey in both directions. In fact, I saw a student last winter coming out of the library who obviously was deep in thought. He was still wearing his pajamas. He is barefooted. And he was reading a poetry book by Browning coming out of the main library. I thought, that's a really good Monash student right there. It was actually a Friday on top of that. So colleagues, can I say to you, as colleagues, as friends, as those of you who are here together to celebrate, we are really, really proud of you being here. It's so fantastic to see 130 people coming together to celebrate what was and what is and what will be in the future. You always are and will be the pioneers of Monash. Don't forget it. And the farm may have been there, the farm is still there. Okay? And it still feels that way from time to time, and we really wish it were still just as personal. Think about it this way.
Back to Graham, and Graham's deal, of course, was that our disagreements came from a very simple place. I've been thrown out of school, home, and everybody else I could go, and I was a nasty piece of work. And Graham, of course, had come from some college where he was looking after Catholic boys. Well, it doesn't gel. This is a university, Graham. You cannot rule the world with a Catholic faith out of a bloody boarding school for university, and that was the deal. And the clash was inevitable. Graham wanted to keep us all under control, I wanted no control. This is the first time I got out of control in my life. I mean, this was fantastic. There was no coppers on me, there was no parents on me, there was no prefects and other jock strappers and wankers on me, and I could do whatever I wanted, and I got away with it for years. Now we have to reflect that we're nearly 70. Where the fuck are we now?
Well, that was perhaps the most enduring 70 minutes of challenge with these rowdy people that we got our message across. Well done.
The pioneers.
The pioneers, and I think it was an inspirational to hear Professor Legg, 92, our new Deputy Vice-Chancellor, and of course the rebel rouser Peter Steedman. Lott's wife continues. Well done, Nick. Well done, Mike. So around the world we go, it'll be on the global map. We are now here in a salubrious position, which I haven't been here for 46 years, in the beer garden of the Notting Hill Hotel, which we're going to rename the Monash Notting Hill Hotel. And on my right is the recently appointed, 3 years ago?
That's correct.
From Canada, the Deputy Vice-Chancellor of Monash, Adam Shoemaker.
That's great to be
Am I right? So how was this experience today for you?
Look, what an education. I've had 3 or 4 years in one afternoon already.
Is that right?
Just to hear what it's like. The atmosphere of 50 years ago is alive and well, that's for sure. And the Nott still gets visited. There's still Nott nights at the residence, and they still come, and they maintain your tradition.
So which days do you come to the Nott?
Well, usually it's a Friday.
Friday? Well, that used to be our favourite day too. Mike, well done. I mean, you've got to be pretty proud of what's happened today.
Yeah, it's great to see all these people.
They're disorderly in there, but that's...
well, we always were, were we not?
That's right.
We always were. And it was delight to have Adam and some of the Monash people from today.
No, I think it's fantastic. Yeah, this will be beamed around the world. Probably go to Canada.
Of course, well, it must do.
And we're very happy to have Lou McCarthy here, or Louise, or known as Lou, and we'll interview her later. But yeah, Pete Steedman hasn't changed much. He's probably mellowed a bit, isn't he? You never knew him.
Well, if that's mellow, I'd love to see the original.
Well, he was
fantastic. You know,
he used to ride his bike and he terrorised everyone. Anyway, fantastic to have you.
Fantastic as well.
Well done, Mike. Yeah, so just stand still there.
Great idea. Great idea.
So thank you, and we'll go to the next thing. Here we are again with some interesting people. On my right is Jan Ryan. I think your surname was Brown, that's right? And what year did you start?
1961.
So you're a maiden?
Absolutely.
61. On my right is Graham Wise, I haven't seen for 40 years. He now runs the Body Shop Australia. Well done, Graham. Yeah, thank you. How you enjoyed today?
I think it's fantastic. I really think it's still a very blokey type of atmosphere here. And I think that people have failed to realise that the surge in the power of the woman has occurred in the
So
last
you're not a left-wing Jermaine Greer?
Oh, I think she's pretty good.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah.
Because you realise when Monash started, the contraceptive pill was
Just becoming available. Yeah.
That's something you're familiar with? Or?
Yes. But I worked for Monash in the 80s, and they were an absolute equal opportunity employee.
So you
paid, but then I went to a multinational, and that.
Well,
I said it was there.
So look, all I can say, any complaints put them in writing. For the 100th one, we'll probably change it.
No, but we're winning. It doesn't matter. We've won. We're there. We've got the women running the world now.
Well, we have. Look at Australia. 3 state premiers and the Prime Minister of Australia.
And the Governor General.
That's right.
And the 2 Chancellors of universities.
That's right. How many females?
I think there's still only 1. No, 2. Maybe South Australia's 1. And what about the Governor General?
Right. Here we have the class of 1964 economics. The good-looking guy with the reefer jacket was my best man at the wedding, Drew Piccoli, who launched Clayton's drink and made a fortune for Beecham's. In the middle is Kevin Clements, tries to run an accounting practice. Good to see you, Kevo. He's saying happy birthday backwards to my 21st. Chris Riley here, used to be the publican of the Prince Albert and Richmond. Chris, what do you think of today?
Oh, look, it's fantastic. One of the great things about Monash is we bred Republicans. One fact, John Elliott once called me an Irish chippy. You know, and Melbourne University is full of bloody monarchists. Here we are in a proper Australian university.
Is that right? You got your card there? I'll get him to ring you.
Yeah, please.
Anyway, fantastic to see you here. Right. And all we've really lost is perhaps a bit of grey hair. Well, we've got grey hair, but we haven't lost our sense of humour. So well done, brother. Great day. Eh?